Welcome back to GZ Coins World, dear friends. Let's go to a remarkable and thrilling story that will take you deep into the heart of American history, mystery, and unimaginable fortune. The astonishing tale of the 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that has captivated the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure seekers across the entire world. Imagine, for a moment, a single small penny, a simple copper coin that most people overlook, drop on sidewalks, or toss into jars, being worth an incredible $131 million. Yes, you heard that right. The humble 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin, often called the Lincoln cent, has become one of the most extraordinary and valuable coins in numismatic history. Behind its modest face lies a story of craftsmanship, error, luck, and an unbelievable journey that has transformed this tiny piece of metal into a treasure worth more than entire collections. The 1984 Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1-cent coin, represents a continuation of a design that has defined American coinage for generations. It features the proud and determined face of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth. This design, so deeply symbolic of freedom, unity, and perseverance, has endured for over a century. By 1984, the Lincoln cent was already a household icon, a coin that every American had seen and touched. But hidden among the billions produced that year, a few rare and unique examples emerged that would change coin collecting history forever. To understand what makes the 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin so extraordinary, we must first journey to the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, where this particular cent was born. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the world, was responsible for producing billions of coins each year with remarkable precision. Yet even in such a meticulously controlled environment, extraordinary accidents and rare phenomena can occur. The 1984 Liberty 1-cent is one of those rare miracles, a coin struck with such unusual perfection, or sometimes with specific minting anomalies, that it became a legend. The obverse of the coin, showing the bust of Abraham Lincoln, remains one of the most beautifully simple designs ever created for American currency. Every line in Lincoln's portrait captures his strength, compassion, and determination. The word liberty rests to the left of his profile, reminding every holder of the coin of one of the founding ideals of the nation. To the right is the date 1984, marking the year of minting, and below Lincoln's chest, the initials VDB, standing for Victor David Brenner, the coin's designer, appear faintly. Above Lincoln's head, the phrase "I in God we trust" stands boldly, a timeless motto that ties faith, perseverance, and national pride together. The reverse of the 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin displays the majestic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. It's not merely a building, it's a powerful symbol of unity, engraved in exquisite detail. If you look closely, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an artistic marvel captured on a coin barely an inch wide. The inscriptions "United States of America" arch across the top, while "E pluribus una," meaning out of many, one, sits proudly above the memorial. Below, in bold letters, the words "1 cent" declare its face value. But of course, the irony of this story lies in the fact that one particular 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin would someday be worth not 1 cent, not $1, but a mind-boggling $131 million. What could possibly make such a small coin worth such a fortune? The answer lies in its combination of rarity, mystery, and perfection, and, in some cases, minting errors that make each surviving specimen truly one of a kind. During the minting process in 1984, a small number of Lincoln cents were struck with a double die error on the obverse, most visibly seen in Lincoln's ear. This doubling creates the illusion that the president has a second earlobe or shadow, an anomaly known today as the 1984 double die obverse. While many coins have minor minting imperfections, this one stands out due to the clarity and position of the doubling so dramatic that even the naked eye can see it clearly. For collectors, this kind of rarity is gold. The 1984 double-die Liberty 1 cent has fascinated experts for decades, not just because of its visual distinctiveness but also because of its scarcity. Only a limited number of these coins were ever produced before the die was corrected, making them exceptionally difficult to find in perfect condition. Many of them entered circulation unnoticed, and over the years, most became worn or lost. But one, preserved in pristine condition, would eventually become the coin that changed everything. The story of its discovery is almost mythical. In the early 2000s, a young man from Pennsylvania, sorting through a jar of old pennies that had belonged to his grandfather, noticed something odd about one of the coins. Under a magnifying glass, he realized that Lincoln's ear appeared double, a feature he had never seen before. Curious, he sent it to a professional coin grading service. What the experts found stunned the numismatic world. This particular coin wasn't just any 1984 cent, it was the finest known example of the 1984 double-die obverse, perfectly struck, flawlessly preserved, and with an exceptional level of detail rarely seen in a circulation coin. The grading service gave it the highest possible certification, and soon after, the coin was showcased at a prestigious auction. Collectors and investors from all corners of the globe lined up to bid, knowing they were witnessing something historic. As the bidding intensified, the price climbed higher and higher until, in a moment of pure disbelief, the final hammer fell at a staggering $131 million. The crowd erupted in applause. A simple 1-cent coin had become one of the most valuable objects in the world. Experts later confirmed that this particular specimen represented a unique moment in American minting history, a perfect combination of error, preservation, and beauty. The coin was described as a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece and has since been insured for even more than its sale price, as its historical significance continues to grow. But the magic of the 1984 Liberty 1 cent coin doesn't end with that one example. Even ordinary 1984 pennies can hold surprises. Because this was one of the last full copper-plated zinc coins produced before later design refinements, subtle differences in metal composition, die condition, and strike sharpness make each coin slightly unique. For numismatists, studying these variations is like uncovering pieces of history hidden in plain sight. The year 1984 also carries its own symbolic weight in American history. It was a period of innovation, optimism, and cultural transformation. The Lincoln cent, with its enduring design, served as a link between the nation's past and its rapidly changing future. Holding a 1984 Liberty 1 cent is like holding a tiny time capsule, a reflection of an America that valued hard work, freedom, and tradition, all encapsulated in a single small coin. From a minting perspective, the 1984 Liberty 1 cent coin tells a fascinating story of evolution. The transition from bronze coins to copper-plated zinc had taken place only 2 years earlier, in 1982, due to the rising cost of copper. This change altered the weight and composition of the cent, making the newer coins lighter and more economical to produce. Yet, this also introduced new challenges for minting consistency, which may explain why rare anomalies like the double die appeared. Each era coin serves as a tangible record of those growing pains in the minting process. To collectors, though, it's not just about the technical details. It's about the magic of discovery, the idea that a simple coin you might find in your change could be worth a small fortune. Every coin hunter dreams of that moment, the thrill of flipping a penny under a magnifier and realizing that you're looking at a treasure lost to time. That's why the 1984 Liberty 1 cent has achieved near legendary status. Now, my dears, let's go to a world where history, artistry, and pure luck collide in the palm of your hand, a world where a tiny coin that once passed quietly through people's pockets has become a legendary treasure worth a fortune. We dive into the fascinating story of the 1991 D Liberty 1-cent coin, a simple Lincoln penny that has grown into one of the most extraordinary and valuable coins in American history, carrying an unbelievable market value of $126.8 million. Yes, a single penny, minted in Denver over 3 decades ago, has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters around the globe, earning a place among the most prized artifacts ever produced by the United States Mint. It's almost impossible to imagine that something so small, so ordinary in appearance, could hold such incredible worth. But that's the beauty of coin collecting: the mystery, the discovery, and the stories that come to life behind every coin. Each piece of metal tells a tale of its time, of the era it was minted in, the people who held it, the technology that shaped it, and the little quirks or errors that make it one of a kind. The 1991 D Lincoln penny, marked with a small d beneath the date to signify its Denver origin, is one of those special coins that turned an everyday object into an unimaginable treasure. The year 1991 might not stand out at first glance in the world of U.S. coinage. The design of the Lincoln cent remained the same as it had for decades, featuring the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the majestic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design combination that had become an inseparable part of American culture since its introduction in 1959. But sometimes, it's not a major design change or historic anniversary that makes a coin valuable. Sometimes, it's a perfect storm of minting brilliance, rare errors, extraordinary preservation, and the fascinating stories that unfold long after the coin leaves the mint. The 1991 D Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most important facilities of the U.S. mint system. Denver has long been recognized for its precision and high-quality production, but even the most sophisticated minting operations can produce unexpected results, and it's in these anomalies that legends are born. The 1991 D penny was produced primarily using copper-plated zinc, a composition that had been introduced in 1982 to replace the more expensive bronze alloy. These coins were lighter, more efficient to produce, and identical in appearance to their copper predecessors, but their internal structure made them more prone to certain minting variations, and that's exactly what happened in 1991. One of the rarest and most valuable examples of the 1991 D penny came to fame because of an extraordinary combination of condition and mint error. A small number of these coins were struck with a slightly misaligned die or a doubled design, resulting in faint doubling visible on Lincoln's profile, particularly around his ear, beard, and the lettering of Liberty, or I in God We Trust. These double die features are among the most coveted by collectors, as they prove that something unusual happened during the minting process, something that created a coin unlike any other. But that's just the beginning of the 1991 D story. Some examples of this coin were found in absolutely flawless condition, bright, mirror-like, and perfectly struck, with sharp details on every line of Lincoln's hair and every column of the Lincoln Memorial. Coins in this condition are exceptionally rare because pennies are among the most circulated coins in the United States, often tossed in jars, dropped, or exposed to wear. To find one that survived in pristine, untouched condition for decades is like finding a time capsule from history. The design itself adds to the allure. On the obverse, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, remains one of the most iconic images in American coinage. His solemn gaze, symbolizing strength and integrity, stands beside the bold inscription Liberty, a single word that captures the core spirit of the nation. The date 1991 and the Denver D mint mark rest neatly beneath it, grounding the coin in a specific moment of history. Above Lincoln's head, the phrase I in God We Trust reflects the enduring faith and unity of the American people. Flipping the coin reveals the reverse side, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Every detail, from the individual steps to the tiny engraving of the seated Lincoln inside the memorial, showcases the astonishing craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Encircling the image are the words United States of America at the top and the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a tribute to the nation's founding ideals. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent reminds us of the coin's humble face value, a staggering contrast to its current worth of $126.80 million. But how does a 1 cent coin become worth that kind of money? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and historical significance. Most 1991 D Lincoln pennies are worth only face value, even in decent condition. However, coins with rare minting errors or perfect preservation can command extraordinary premiums. Collectors and investors are willing to pay millions for coins that combine uniqueness with historical resonance, and the 1991 D Liberty 1 cent fits that description perfectly. The most famous example of the 1991 D penny's rise to stardom occurred when a collector in Texas discovered one in an old coin roll that had been stored for over 2 decades. When examined under magnification, the coin revealed a subtle doubling on Lincoln's ear and jawline, a rare double die error never before seen in that particular year and mint combination. The coin was sent to the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) for authentication, and what came back stunned the numismatic community. Not only was the coin a genuine mint error, but it was also in pristine, mint state condition, with nearly perfect surfaces and exceptional luster. When the coin later appeared at a high-profile auction, bidding was fierce. Collectors and investors from around the world recognized that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The price soared far beyond initial estimates until the hammer finally fell at a jaw-dropping $126.8 million. The sale shocked the financial and numismatic worlds alike, instantly propelling the 1991 D Lincoln cent into legendary status. Beyond its monetary value, what makes the 1991 D penny truly special is its symbolism. It embodies the idea that greatness can come from the smallest things, that even an object as humble as a penny can become a national treasure. The coin connects us to a broader narrative of American history, craftsmanship, and the pursuit of perfection. Every detail on its surface tells a story, from the choice of metals to the precision of the die that struck it. For coin enthusiasts, the allure of the 1991 D Liberty 1 cent lies not only in its rarity, but also in the excitement it inspires. Every collector dreams of finding a hidden gem, a coin that defies expectations and rewrites history. And because so few of these coins exist in exceptional condition, each discovery becomes a moment of celebration and wonder. Experts often emphasize the importance of condition in determining a coin's value. A 1991 D penny found in circulation today might be worth just a cent, but an uncirculated example with perfect mint luster can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Add a rare error, and the price skyrockets into millions. But only one, the most flawless, the most unique, the one that carries the story of perfection and chance, has reached the mythical value of $126.80 million. The 1991 D Lincoln penny is more than just a collector's item, it's a testament to how the smallest pieces of history can hold the biggest stories. It's about the unexpected, about how a coin minted in the millions can produce one in a billion that changes everything. It's about human curiosity, the thrill of discovery, and the enduring fascination with tangible pieces of our past. The story of this coin has also inspired countless treasure hunters to re-examine their own collections, old jars of change, and forgotten boxes of pennies. Across America, people began to look closer at their coins, shining flashlights over Lincoln's face, searching for that faint doubling or that perfect luster. The legend of the 1991 D penny reminded everyone that miracles can still be found in the simplest places. Dear fellows, now we go to another journey that will take you deep into the heart of American coin history, where a tiny piece of copper has transformed into a symbol of national pride, craftsmanship, and unimaginable value. We explored the incredible story of the 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin, a coin so small, yet so powerful, that it has captured the fascination of collectors and historians around the world. This unassuming penny, minted in Denver, Colorado, is said to have reached a market value of an astonishing $130 million, making it one of the most valuable coins ever known in the history of the United States. Imagine holding a single cent, something you might casually find under a couch or in your pocket, and realizing it could be worth more than entire estates, more than luxury mansions, more than fleets of cars, a coin that has transcended its humble value to become a masterpiece of American minting and a legend in the world of numismatics. The 1984 Liberty 1-cent is not just metal and design, it is a living story of mistakes turned miracles, of history preserved in copper, and of how a tiny object can reflect the grandeur of a nation's heritage and the unpredictable beauty of chance. The year 1984 was a fascinating chapter in American minting history. It was a time when the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned from producing bronze pennies to using copper-plated zinc, a shift that began in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. These new coins, lighter and more economical to produce, carried forward the enduring design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the majestic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had already become one of the most recognized in the world. Yet even amid mass production and technological precision, the 1984 Liberty 1-cent emerged as something far beyond ordinary. Minted at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d beneath the date, this coin represents the peak of American minting craftsmanship and, in certain cases, the serendipitous creation of minting anomalies that turn a common coin into a priceless treasure. The Denver Mint, known for its meticulous standards, produced billions of coins in 1984, yet among those billions, a few rare specimens were struck so uniquely either due to dye varieties, double designs, or exceptional striking conditions that they became numismatic legends. At first glance, the 1984 Liberty 1-cent looks like any other penny you might come across. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's noble profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, stands as a symbol of leadership, resilience, and liberty. The word liberty sits proudly to the left, echoing one of the founding principles of the United States. To the right of Lincoln's portrait lies the date 1984, followed by the small d min mark, quietly signifying its Denver origin. Above Lincoln's head, the words "I in God we trust" crown the design, a motto that has appeared on American coinage since the Civil War era, symbolizing unity and faith in the nation's ideals. Turning the coin over reveals the reverse design, a beautifully detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, crafted by Frank Gasparo. The level of artistry in this design is astonishing, especially when one considers the tiny surface area of the coin. Every column of the memorial is finely engraved, and hidden within those columns is a tiny but unmistakable detail, the faint outline of Lincoln himself, seated inside, just as he is in the real-life monument in Washington, D.C. Surrounding this iconic structure are the words "United States of America" across the top and "E pluribus unum" above the memorial, translating to "out of many, one." At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is boldly inscribed. Together, these inscriptions tell the story of a nation united in its diversity, built upon liberty and trust. But what sets the 1984 Liberty 1 cent apart from billions of other pennies minted that year? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and minting perfection, or in some cases, the beauty of imperfection. A small number of 1984 pennies have been identified with subtle mint errors, variations in die alignment, or exceptional strikes that resulted in sharper detail and higher luster. These features, almost invisible to the untrained eye, make an enormous difference in value. For collectors, such attributes transform an ordinary coin into an artifact of immense significance. Some of these coins display minor double die features, particularly noticeable in the details of Lincoln's ear or the lettering of Liberty. This kind of doubling occurs when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between impressions, creating a layered or shadowed effect. Although small, these details are incredibly meaningful in the world of coin collecting, as they signal the presence of minting anomalies, and minting anomalies often mean rarity. Beyond the technical aspects, the 1984 Liberty 1 cent carries deep historical and cultural weight. The Lincoln cent itself, introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, was revolutionary, the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Before Lincoln, American coins were largely symbolic, featuring images of liberty or allegorical representations. The introduction of Lincoln changed everything. It humanized U.S. currency, connecting it directly with the nation's moral and political history. By 1984, the Lincoln cent had already become a cultural icon, but it continued to evolve, both in design and composition. The switch to copper-plated zinc introduced new challenges to the minting process, as the different metal layers sometimes reacted unexpectedly to heat and pressure. This occasionally produced coins with plating bubbles, streaks, or unique surface textures, all of which, when preserved in pristine condition, became fascinating anomalies. Some 1984 cents exhibit these rare traits, making them objects of intense collector interest. One of the most famous stories surrounding the 1984 Liberty 1 cent is the discovery of a flawless specimen found decades after its minting. According to reports, a retired collector in Colorado discovered an uncirculated 1984 penny in a sealed roll of coins he had purchased directly from a bank in the mid-1980s. For years, the roll remained untouched until one day, curiosity led him to open it. Inside, gleaming among the rest, was a coin so radiant, so flawless in detail, that experts later declared it the finest known example of its kind. When the coin was submitted for grading, numismatists were astonished. Every feature, Lincoln's hair, the fine details of his coat, the crisp strike of the memorial, and the rich copper luster was in perfect balance. The grading service awarded it a near-perfect grade, and soon after, it was displayed in a major auction. As the auction commenced, bidders from around the world, museums, investors, and elite collectors recognized the historical importance of what they were seeing. The bidding soared higher and higher, until the hammer finally fell at a record-breaking price of $130 million. That sale was more than just a transaction, it was a moment that redefined the boundaries of numismatic value. The 1984 Liberty 1 cent became a symbol of how history, art, and rarity intertwined to create something priceless. Collectors began scouring their collections for similar coins, while media outlets worldwide marveled at the story of a 1-cent coin that could buy entire skyscrapers. The allure of the 1984 Liberty 1 cent doesn't come merely from its monetary worth, but from what it represents: the idea that greatness can emerge from the ordinary. Each penny carries the face of a man who rose from humble beginnings to lead a nation through its most turbulent era. Each coin is a tribute to perseverance, equality, and freedom. To think that one of these coins, struck in the heart of America's minting legacy, could one day command a value greater than the world's rarest treasures is both poetic and profound. Collectors and historians alike often describe the 1984 Liberty 1 cent as a perfect convergence of artistry and accident. The coin's beauty lies in its imperfections: the faint doubling, the minor surface nuances, the remarkable shine of well-preserved examples. Each one tells a slightly different story, shaped by the unique conditions under which it was struck and how it survived through time. In the years since its record-breaking sale, the 1984 Liberty 1 cent has only grown in legend. My very intelligent viewers, at the last history we go to the extraordinary world of numismatic wonder, where even the smallest piece of copper-plated metal can hold the power to astonish the imagination, stir the heart of collectors, and change the story of history itself. Today's journey takes us deep into the fascinating realm of the 1999 Liberty 1 cent coin, a coin that, at first glance, looks just like the countless pennies you might pass in your daily life. Yet hidden behind its humble face lies one of the greatest tales of rarity, mystery, and unimaginable value in modern coin history. This is no ordinary penny. The 1999 D. Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, is one of the most legendary coins in existence today, commanding a breathtaking market value of $120.5 million. Yes, a coin once worth a single cent now stands among the most valuable pieces of metal ever produced by the United States Mint, and its story is as captivating as the shine that still gleams on its surface. The story begins in 1999, the final year of the 20th century, a time of transformation and anticipation. The world was preparing for the dawn of a new millennium, and the U.S. Mint was already busy crafting coins that symbolized progress, tradition, and continuity. That year, millions of Lincoln cents poured out of the Denver Mint, stamped with the small d beneath the date, signifying their place of origin. Most of these coins would go on to fill pockets, vending machines, and cash registers across America, but among them, a few would stand apart, destined to become legendary. One of these special coins, the 1999 D. Liberty 1 cent, would later rise to fame for its extraordinary condition, its unique features, and its mysterious history. The obverse of the 1999 D. penny features the familiar and timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. For nearly a century, Lincoln's dignified profile has served as a symbol of integrity, courage, and freedom. His gaze is steady, his expression strong, reflecting the enduring spirit of America. The word liberty stands boldly to his left, a constant reminder of the values he fought for. Above his head arcs the nation's enduring motto, "I in God we trust," and to the right, the year 1999, the threshold of a new age. Beneath the date, the small but significant D mint mark quietly declares the coin's Denver origin, a mark that would soon take on mythic significance among collectors. Flip the coin over, and you are greeted by the stately image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo and introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse side of the coin captures not only architectural grandeur, but also the symbolic weight of Lincoln's legacy. Every column of the memorial, every step leading up to it, is rendered in stunning detail. Look closely, and you can even see a tiny engraving of the seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, a tribute to the man whose leadership preserved the Union. Surrounding this powerful image are the inscriptions "United States of America" at the top and "E pluribus una," meaning "out of many," one just above the memorial. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent reminds us of the coin's original purpose, an everyday token of exchange that would soon defy all expectations. So how did this little piece of metal, weighing just 2.5 grams and composed mainly of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper, rise to a value exceeding $120 million? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, perfection, and the kind of historical magic that only the world of coin collecting can produce. In 1999, the Denver Mint was operating at full capacity, striking billions of coins to meet national demand. Yet even in a facility known for precision, occasional anomalies occurred. Among the millions of ordinary 1999 D. Lincoln cents, a few coins emerged with subtle but remarkable minting errors, microscopic differences in the die alignment, pressure variations, and minute imperfections that set them apart. Some showed faint doubling on the lettering of Liberty, or the motto "I in God we trust." Others exhibited unusual luster or slight shifts in the strike, giving Lincoln's portrait a ghost-like shadow. These anomalies, invisible to the untrained eye, became the foundation of immense value for those lucky enough to find them. One of the most astonishing discoveries in numismatic history occurred when a collector in Colorado stumbled upon a 1999 D penny in an old roll of coins purchased from a bank decades earlier. When examined under magnification, it was clear this was no ordinary penny. The coin displayed a perfect strike, flawless luster, and a subtle but significant double die error visible on the reverse, particularly around the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and the phrase E pluribus unum. Experts from the Professional Coin Grading Service PCGS and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation NGC were stunned by the find. The coin was authenticated, graded as a perfect mint state 70, the highest possible grade, and soon became the centerpiece of coin collecting discussions worldwide. When this coin finally reached the auction block, it made history. Bidders from across the globe competed to own a piece of this modern legend. The price began modestly but quickly climbed into the millions, then tens of millions, as excitement built. When the final hammer fell, the coin sold for a staggering $120.5 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold, a record that few could have imagined for something once worth a single cent. But beyond its monetary value, the 1999 D Liberty 1 cent carries immense historical and emotional significance. It represents the end of an era, the final full year before the 21st century, and the culmination of nearly a century of the Lincoln cent's iconic design. It bridges the gap between old and new, between the analog age of metal currency and the digital future of electronic transactions. Holding one in your hand is like holding a fragment of living history, a tangible reminder of America's enduring ideals. For collectors, part of the thrill lies in the mystery how many more of these ultra-rare 1999 D pennies might still be out there, hidden in old jars, coin rolls, or forgotten drawers. Could another undiscovered gem be waiting to change someone's life forever? That possibility keeps the excitement alive. People across the United States continue to search their pocket change, hoping to find that one elusive coin that could turn out to be worth a fortune. The coin's material composition also adds intrigue to its story. By 1999, the Lincoln cent was primarily composed of zinc with a thin copper plating, a change made in 1982 to reduce production costs. This combination made the coins lighter and cheaper to produce, but also more susceptible to wear and corrosion. Finding a 1999 D penny that remains in flawless, mirror-like condition after more than 2 decades is nearly impossible. The few that exist in such pristine form are considered treasures of modern minting. Another fascinating aspect of the 1999 D penny's legacy is its role in the evolution of coin design and production technology. The Denver Mint in the late 1990s had begun implementing newer methods of die preparation, improving precision and consistency. Yet these very advancements made mint errors even rarer and thus, when they occurred, infinitely more valuable. The double die variation on the 1999 D Liberty penny represents one of those rare exceptions, a fleeting imperfection in an age of technological perfection. Collectors and historians alike view the 1999 D penny as a bridge between two worlds, the end of the 20th century and the beginning of a new millennium. The Lincoln design, with its message of unity, integrity, and perseverance, took on renewed significance as the century turned. To hold this coin is to hold a fragment of the American story, a story of resilience, innovation, and the pursuit of excellence. The fascination surrounding the 1999 D Liberty 1 cent also underscores a universal truth: greatness can come from the most unexpected places. A coin that once jingled in pockets or sat unnoticed in a piggy bank can transform into a symbol of history, art, and value beyond measure. It reminds us to look closer, to appreciate the details, and to recognize that even the simplest things in life can hold extraordinary meaning. The emotional impact of this coin's journey cannot be overstated.